I don't realize how badly I'm shaking until the feather duster taps twice against the glass desk. Like my own hands are knocking for help. I shouldn't even be in this office. This floor is reserved for executives, and ghosts the kind of people who don't like being surprised, and the kind of secrets that don't like being found. But today, I had no choice. The penthouse office is bright with morning light. Floor-to-ceiling windows, washing everything in gold. But the sunlight only makes the bruises on my arms burn hotter beneath my sleeves. I tug the fabric lower, hiding the fading fingerprints I swore I'd never let him leave again. My throat tightens. I keep checking my phone every few seconds. My heart stumbling each time. The screen lights up. Ethan hasn't texted yet. And somehow, that's worse. I tell myself to keep moving. Keep scrubbing. Keep breathing. Just an hour. 1 hour in this office no one assigned me to clean. 1 hour I need to make enough money to keep Ethan Cross from finding me again. A strange hope, considering he always does. I swipe at the glass one more time, desperate to finish, when the soft chime of the private elevator slices the air behind me. My entire body goes still. Everyone in the building knows that sound. Only one man has access to that elevator. Only one man moves through this tower like it was built for him alone. I don't turn around. I can't. My fingers tighten around the duster until the plastic bends. And for a second I consider running, but where I'm 40 floors up, there's nowhere to go. Footsteps echo across the marble floor. Slow. Steady. Controlled. The kind of steps that belong to a man who never has to hurry. I finally force myself to turn. The first thing I register is black. A black dress shirt. Sleeves roll to his forearms like he doesn't need armor, because his confidence is armor enough. His posture is straight. Relaxed. But it radiates a quiet danger I feel like a pulse. Lorenzo Valle. You don't work in Miami and not know his name. You don't breathe in this city without hearing it whispered somewhere in bars. In alleyways. In the places where debts are made and collected. He's younger than I expected. Early 30s? Maybe. Handsome in a way that shouldn't be legal. But edged with something colder. Something carved out of control and precision. When his dark eyes sweep over me, my breath collapses. He doesn't look surprised to see me. He looks curious. That's somehow worse. For a moment, neither of us speaks. As though the whole room is holding its breath with us. Then his eyes lower to my arms. I react too slowly, tugging the sleeve down a half second after he's seen the bruises. His gaze narrows, but not in anger. More like calculation. A silent question. Why are you trembling? His voice is low. Smooth. Unhurried. The kind of voice that could promise safety or destruction and mean both. I'm just finishing up. I say. My voice betrays me, completely. Thin and cracked around the edges. He steps closer. And I swear the air thickens around him. You're not assigned to this office. He's right. I'm not. The schedule is digital. And he definitely checked it before stepping out of that elevator. Of course he did. Men like him know everything happening in their territory. I fumble for a lie. Someone asked me to cover this shift. A lie. He says softly. Not harsh. Just certain. Like he's identifying the color of a wall. My heartbeat thunders. I feel caught. Exposed. Cornered, but not by him. By everything I'm running from. Lorenzo circles me slowly. Not touching me. Not even close enough for warmth. But the way he moves makes every instinct in me flare. His presence is like gravity, steady. Inevitable. Then my phone buzzes. The sound slices through me like a blade. I flinch so hard the duster almost drops to the floor. I don't have to check the screen to know who it is. Ethan. Lorenzo's eyes flick downward. reading my reaction as easily as if he'd read the message himself. When he speaks again, his voice drops to something deeper. A quiet warning. Who hurt you? I swallow hard. But my throat feels like it's closing. No one. The lie shatters between us the moment it leaves my mouth. He tilts his head slightly. Studying me. That's the second lie you've told since I walked in. My knees weaken. I grip the edge of the desk to stay upright. Before I can respond, my phone buzzes again. A second message. My stomach plunges. The second message is always worse. It means Ethan's losing patience. Lorenzo studies me like a man watching a fuse burn closer to a bomb. Then his own phone vibrates. He checks a message, and something sharp flashes in his eyes. He looks at me again. Gaze colder now. There's a man downstairs asking for a woman who fits your description. My blood runs cold. My hand flies to my mouth without thinking. My breath turns shallow. Erigid. Panicked. Lorenzo steps closer, not aggressively. Not possessively. But with an unsettling sense of certainty. As if he's already decided something about me. Is he looking for you? I can't speak. I can barely breathe. He is. His voice is so soft it nearly melts into the air. You don't have to answer. Tears sting my eyes. Humiliating and hot. I whisper. Please, I need to go. No. The word is quiet. Vinyl. Steady as bedrock. Not like this. He moves just enough to block the path to the door. But the gesture doesn't feel threatening. It feels protective. Like he studied the danger long before I admitted it existed. Tell me what you're running from. I shake my head. I can't. If I tell him, he'll get involved. And Ethan destroys anything he touches. Lorenzo's eyes darken. Voice sinking into something that feels like truth, wrapped in steel. I already am. I open my mouth. But what comes out is not the confession he's asking for. It's something smaller. Something that shouldn't matter, and somehow matters more than anything. I have a daughter. Everything in his face shifts, not soft, but sharper, focused, protective. How old? 6. His jaw flexes. He curses under his breath. Quiet but lethal. If he's looking for you, he exhales once. Slow, controlled. He's looking for her. Terror blasts through me like lightning. My knees buckle. Lorenzo moves before I fall. His hand hovering near my arm, not touching. Not yet. But close enough that I feel the heat of him. Mia. The sound of my name in his voice is grounding. Steady. You're coming with me. I can't. You can. His voice leaves no room for debate. And you will. He steps toward the back of the office and presses his palm against a seamless panel on the wall. A hidden door slides open silently, revealing a sleek, shadowed hallway. He looks over his shoulder. Eyes locked on mine. You walk through that door with me. He says softly. And I keep you safe. My heart clenches. My lungs says. Everything inside me trembles with fear and relief and disbelief all at once. I don't even know you. I whisper. His gaze holds me completely. But I know enough. My phone buzzes again. The third message. The one Ethan sends when he's done waiting. That's all it takes. I step toward Lorenzo Vale, and for the first time in months, maybe years, I feel the smallest flicker of something I barely recognize. Hope. Lorenzo doesn't say another word as he leads me through the hidden hallway. But somehow the silence speaks louder than anything. The walls are smooth, clean, untouched by the chaos that runs through my life like a second bloodstream. When the private elevator opens, a soft glow spills over us warm, honey-colored light that feels like a different world entirely. The doors close, sealing us in together. For the first time since Ethan's messages hit my phone, the noise in my head quiets. I lean back against the elevator wall. Fighting for steady breath, Lorenzo stands across from me, hands in his pockets, eyes fixed on me with a focus that feels far too intimate for someone I met less than an hour ago. But I don't look away. I can't. The elevator rises, impossibly smooth, until it stops at the very top, when the doors part. I step into a penthouse so quiet, so open, so drenched in soft sunlight, it almost makes my eyes ache. Light wood, high ceilings, glass, and gold, and air. Everything in the space is gentle, peaceful, the opposite of every night I've lived through for years. My voice slips out before I can swallow it. I haven't felt safe in a long time. Lorenzo studies me not with pity, but with something sharper, something dangerous in its own right. You're safe here, he says quietly. No one gets into this residence unless I allow it. I want to believe him. God. I want to. But safety feels like a story other people get to live. He moves a little closer, keeping his distance but anchoring me with the steadiness of his presence. Sit, he murmurs. Breathe. Start where you can. I don't sit. I can't. My hands shake too violently. It started 2 years ago. I whisper. I got sick. A medical thing. Nothing dramatic. Just enough to take my savings and my job and my stability. Lorenzo's expression barely shifts, but the air around him tightens. I was drowning. I say, bills, rent, a 3-year-old who needed me, and Ethan. He showed up at the perfect moment. Kind, generous, supportive. He told me he wanted to help, that I reminded him of someone he used to love. And I believed him. You trusted him. Lorenzo says, the way he says it makes it feel like a wound. Not a mistake. I did. My throat burns. But help wasn't help. The money came with rules. Expectations. And when I couldn't meet those expectations, the rules started changing. The debt grew. Then it wasn't really about debt at all. It was about control. Lorenzo's jaw flexes. His voice drops into something low and lethal. A man like that doesn't stop unless someone makes him. A shiver runs through me. I look down at my arms, at the bruises beneath the sleeves. I tried to leave. I whisper. He told me if I ever walked away again, he'd take Lily. He said a mother in debt doesn't get custody. Lorenzo's eyes darken. Slow and dangerous. Your daughter is 6, I nod. Fighting tears. She's everything. Everything I have left. The words barely leave my mouth when Lorenzo's phone vibrates. He checks the message, and all the warmth drains from his face. What the fear in my voice cracks like glass. He doesn't answer right away. His thumb tightens around the phone. When he lifts his eyes to me, the look in them strips the breath from my lungs. One of my guards just saw Ethan leave the lobby. He says quietly. My heart stops. He was carrying a small, purple backpack. The world tilts beneath me. A soft, terrified sound escapes my throat before I can stop it. My knees give out entirely. Lorenzo catches me before I hit the floor. His arms strong and steady around me. I collapse against him, shaking violently, gasping for air that won't come. No. Please. Not Lily. Lorenzo. Please. He holds me tighter. Voice firm against my ear. Mia. Look at me. I try. My vision blurs. We'll get her back, he says. Every word a vow forged in steel. I swear it. I cling to his shirt like it's the only thing keeping me alive. The next hour moves in fragments. Orders barked into phones. Names spoken with lethal precision. A black SUV pulling out of an underground garage. The city blurring past in streaks of sunlit glass. My hands gripping my knees so hard my nails dig into my skin. Lorenzo doesn't drive like a man in a panic. He drives like a man who has already decided the outcome. When my breath stutters, his hand stays near mine, close enough that, when the terror spikes too sharply, my pinky brushes his. I don't know if he means for it to happen, but I hold on to that tiny touch, like a lifeline. We traced his car. Lorenzo says, finally, near the marina, a place filled with families, laughter, afternoon light. The thought of Ethan walking through that peaceful space with Lily's backpack makes bile rise in my throat. When we arrive, the air smells of salt and sun-warmed wood. People stroll past us, oblivious to the disaster unraveling inside me. Lorenzo's men guide us down a side dock to a weathered storage shed, where 2 guards stand waiting. One looks at me like he's not sure I belong here. Lorenzo doesn't give him time to question it. Talk. Lorenzo says, "We found the car he ditched." One guard replies, but there's something inside. My breath stalls. Lorenzo steps ahead of me, pushes open the shed door. Sunlight filters through the cracks in the wood, illuminating dust, rope, and a small purple backpack lying on the ground. Lily's backpack. My world shatters so quietly it's almost soundless. I'm in the doorway, my hands pressed to my mouth. Shaking so hard, I feel like I might dissolve. Beside the backpack is a little stuffed fox, Lily's favorite. She sleeps with it every night. She carries it everywhere. She wouldn't drop it. Not unless she was terrified. My legs buckle. Lorenzo is there before I hit the floor, his arm strung around my waist, keeping me upright. I grip his forearm with both hands, trying to breathe. But every inhale feels like knives. Where? An abandoned house, outside the city. He says, "My men are surrounding it now." Then why my voice tears? Why are we standing here, Lorenzo? Please. We have to go now. He cups my face with one hand, firm but gentle, his thumb brushing away a tear I didn't feel fall. His eyes hold mine completely. "Mia," he murmurs, "I'm going to bring your daughter home." The vow is so absolute, so fierce. I feel it replace every breath in my lungs. I nod, even though my body is trembling so hard I can barely stay upright. He doesn't let go of my hand until we're back in the car, and when he finally releases it to start the engine, the loss of his touch feels like cold water. But then he speaks, voice low and lethal. "This ends today. Mia, stay close to me." And I do. I stay as close as he lets me, and maybe closer, because for the first time since this nightmare began, the storm isn't swallowing me whole. It's shifting. It's changing. It's gathering behind Lorenzo Vale, and he's aiming it straight at the man who took my daughter. The drive out of the city feels both endless and impossibly fast. Buildings fall away behind us, replaced by long stretches of cracked road and empty fields washed in the fading afternoon sun. The closer we get, the harder it is to breathe. My hands twist together in my lap, cold and shaking. Even though the air in the car is warm, Lorenzo doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. His focus is absolute, carved into the hard lines of his jaw, the steady rhythm of his breath, the lethal calm that settles over him like a second skin. Every mile brings us closer to Ethan, and with each one, the atmosphere inside the car thickens. Finally, Lorenzo slows. Ahead sits a small house, peeling white paint, windows dark and hollow. The place looks abandoned, forgotten by the world. swallowed by overgrown weeds and silence. But something inside me knows it isn't empty. I feel it the way I feel, fear instinctive and absolute. Lorenzo turns off the engine. Mia. His voice is low, firm, unshakable. You're staying in the car. It feels like the ground shifts beneath me. No. Lorenzo. Please. I can't just sit here. I can't let you go in there alone. He turns toward me, and the look in his eyes steals every word from my tongue. Not cold, not cruel, but resolute, the kind of resolve that doesn't break. You can, he says. And you will. I shake my head. Desperate. If he hurts you, he won't. The certainty in his tone is terrifying. And if he tries, he ends this story faster. Tears blur my vision. I'm begging you. I can't lose Lily, and I can't, my voice cracks. I can't lose you. Too. His hand lifts. Slow and deliberate. Warm fingertips, brushing my cheek. The touch is gentle. Grounding. But filled with an authority that wraps around me like a command I don't know how to refuse. Let me be the monster he should fear. He whispers. Something deep inside me trembles, not from fear, but from the brutal comfort in those words. He isn't promising mercy. He's promising justice. And for the first time, the fear that's been choking me loosens. Just a little. He steps out of the car, and the world feels colder without him in it. I watch him walk toward the house, sun sliding across the back of his black shirt, turning him into something mythic, unstoppable. Dangerous. Certain. His men move around him in shadows, circling the property. Waiting for his signal, Lorenzo disappears through the door. The silence that follows stretches, thin and sharp as wire. My breath trembles. My hands press against the window. My heart beats so violently it hurts. Then, a shout rips through the air. I yerk forward, fingers clawing at the car door. Another shout. Something slams. A struggle. A crash. My chest sizes. I can't see inside. I can't hear anything except my own pulse pounding like a drum. And then, a gunshot. I scream without sound. The force of it tearing through my ribs. I shove the door open and run. But someone grabs me from behind. Strong arms locking around me. Let me go, I sob. Fighting violently. Barely seeing. Lorenzo. Lily, please. Let me go. Lorenzo's second in command holds me back. Voice tight. You can't go in there. I don't care. I don't care. I need her. I need silence. Horrible. Suffocating silence. The kind that feels final. My vision blurs. My legs weaken. And then, cutting through the stillness, small and trembling and familiar, a cry. Not a scream. Not a shout. A child's cry. Lily. Everything inside me breaks at once. I collapse forward. Knees hitting dirt. Hands trembling so violently, I can't hold myself up. The door opens. Lorenzo steps out of the house, emerging into the sinking sunlight, like a shadow turning human again. Lily is in his arms, her face streaked with tears, her little hands gripping his shirt with desperate strength. She's shaking, crying. Alive. Alive. A sob tears out of me. Raw and overwhelming, I scramble to my feet, stumbling toward them, as if my body knows the way better than my mind. Lorenzo quickens his pace, closing the distance with long, sure strides. Then Lily is in my arms. Her small body folds into mine, clinging with terrified fists. Her cries muffled against my neck. I hold her so tightly, I can feel her heartbeat against my own. I got you. I whisper, over and over. Voice shaking. I got you. Baby. Mama's here. I got you. I kiss her hair. Her forehead. Her cheeks. The top of her head again. Because I can't stop. I don't ever want to stop. My tears fall onto her shirt. Onto her hands. Onto my own trembling fingers. Lily hiccups. A voice. Tiny. Mommy, I was scared. I know. I breathe. Breaking apart. But you're safe now. You're safe. Only when she's quiet enough for me to breathe do I look up. Lorenzo stands a few steps away. Chest rising and falling with heavy breaths. There's blood on his sleeve, not his. His eyes are darker than I've ever seen them. Storm-filled and shaken in a way he's trying to hide. Thank you. I whisper. The words barely sound. Thank you. Thank you. He shakes his head once. Slow and gentle. Don't thank me. He says. Voice rough. I just did what should have been done a long time ago. Emotion swells in my chest. Too big to name. Too sharp to hold. Lily buries her face in my shoulder. Breathing in little gasps, I cradle her tighter. Rocking her gently, as if movement alone could erase everything she endured. Lorenzo steps closer, just enough that I can feel him. Not enough to overwhelm. His presence is a shield. A wall. A warmth I hadn't realized I'd been leaning toward from the moment he first stepped into that office. As the sun sinks lower, casting gold across the field, his voice softens into something I've never heard from him before. Quiet. Vulnerable. Human. You're not alone anymore. Mia. The words settle over me, like a blanket pulled from a warm dryer, unexpected. Comforting. Terrifying in a way that feels like hope. Real hope. The kind I thought I'd lost forever. I meet his eyes. And in them I see everything I'm feeling, flicker back at me, the fear. The relief. The exhaustion. The gratitude. And something else. Something blooming. Fragile and bright. Like the first hint of dawn after an endless night. Lorenzo doesn't smile. He just watches me. Steady and unblinking. As if waiting for me to breathe again. I tighten my grip on Lily. She clings to me. Small fingers curled into my shirt. Her breath warm against my neck. Lorenzo stands beside us. Not touching. Not crowding, simply there. Solid. Unmoving. Protective. The three of us stand together in the late afternoon sun. A woman who survived. A child who was saved. And the dangerous man who became our shelter. And for the first time in my life, I let myself imagine a tomorrow that isn't built on fear. A tomorrow where we're not running. A tomorrow where we're not alone. A tomorrow where something new might begin. Something like peace. Something like safety. Something like love. If this story touched you, if you felt every heartbeat, every fear, every moment of hope, I'd be grateful if you showed a little love back to the channel. Please take a second to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves stories filled with emotion and redemption. Your support helps these stories reach more people who need them. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which moment hit you the hardest. Or which character you want to see more of. Thank you for being here. And thank you for listening. There's more to come, so stay close.